and welcome to the Week 14 rundown. Hello, I'm Oz. That's Steve. We are back after a 2-week hiatus.
Yeah, well, is it 2 weeks? I suppose it's a 2-week hiatus. It's just 1 week off. But yeah, I suppose it's a 2 week.
But we haven't been here for 2 weeks, so it's 1 week off, 2-week hiatus.
Feels like a bank holiday thing.
Yeah. How was your hiatus?
We are now back in landscape.
Back in square.
And we've now got updated backgrounds to suit the comment section.
It says we're live, but it says add channels. Are we linked to our socials?
Yeah. Guests can.
I forgot. I'm being retarded. I forgot because I haven't got host privileges anymore. I can't see how many people are watching anymore.
Yeah. Oh, you need to have host privileges. You can log in if you want.
No, but you always send me a guest link. I click on the link that you send me.
All right. I don't care. But more importantly, I know you asked me about my rate, but I wanted to know about yours. And I want everyone to point out how nice the new graphics look. But everyone's saying hello. So Tony, Nathan, Coach Rains, Mark Brown. Nice team. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to ask about: is you've got Oz with a Highland Stags top on, and I know you've got. I want to leave you to do it because I think I can make out another Highland Stags piece of merchandise behind you, just to your.
Yes, indeed.
Right. I don't know
it's my 2023 calendar, my official merchandise for the Highland Stags. Yes.
Wow.
We're into the month of July.
Oh, they don't have people. Is it just like all like mood shots of like equipment and stuff? There's no like Mr. February or Mr. September or anything.
No. None of them is. None of them are.
Wow. I don't know that I agree with it.
Well,
you should putting like in that like part of the fun of it is like putting people on and putting a little bio. I suppose people could leave and then they're like, doesn't look so good. But
no, Steve never sends me any Sport Tank merch. Russ, I have to go. I have to go big to teams. So if you've got any Hertfordshire merch that you want to send me, I'll love it. Oh, me. You, Wooly, the Breeze.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Well, definitely by the time that year ends, we'd have had new people come and go and everything.
Yeah.
That's not a good idea for us. We've got a high turnover. So I suppose we've got a high turnover, and then we also get people basically fade in and fade out. That's the better way of saying it.
Yeah, exactly. So Green has decided to chip in already because as we know, I picked the Cats against the Aztecs. So he's decided.
I did get a message yesterday from the Aztecs, one of the Aztecs saying, "Tell Oz he can stick that up his ass."
I love it
too hard, don't they?
Mate. See. I'm just gonna have to keep picking against them now because they're so upset.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like,
it's like the Bury Saints all over again.
Well, I forgot that I know someone who plays for the Aztecs.
Me.
And so I got no, and like actually, as an impact player.
Play. Sorry.
Yeah. No, but actually like starts and does well for them as well.
Well, that's amazing.
And he sent messages, and we're in a fantasy football league together, and he sent me messages, and he's like watching Oz and like just trying not to reply, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot I was like fuck, I forgot you play for the Aztecs. I was like, and then shouts from thanks for the free shirts. Yeah, there we go. That's my. Can you put the comment up? Can you put the comment up?
Yeah.
Allow people to stalk. So this is my missus. She got more fucking shirts from the Stags than I did because I'm a big dude. So not everybody has merch to fit me. Whereas my missus is quite a small woman. So they were just like, here, have this and have this and have this.
That's awesome.
So she's got all the shirts.
I've got some merch. I need to dig it all out, but I've got the thing is I bought the merch like 2 years ago. I spent like $2,000 on it. And everything's gone apart from some medium t-shirts. All the hoodies are gone.
Send it. The missus will wear it.
Then I've got like hand sanitizer and masks. But they don't matter anymore, right?
Mate,
like,
send the
like
medium t-shirts. Send the medium t-shirts. The missus will wear it.
And then there's what else have I got? Mouse mats. Although we're running quite low on those because we give them away on the weekly game of the week's score thing. But yeah, I need to probably do another buy loads more merch. Although I ain't got no money at the moment because I bought a new car.
Have you got rid of the Jaguar? What do you got now?
Oh yeah, I haven't had that for a while. I've got an Audi now.
You've gone down in the world.
No, the Audi's worth more than the Jaguars.
Well, that's because the Jag was a piece of shit that kept breaking on you.
Yeah, fucking don't buy a Jaguar, everyone. You know what they're cracked up to be.
Right. So there you go. Could use a mouse mat.
Okay, yeah, Jodie can have a mouse mat. I think that'll be the last one.
Mate, she's supposed to be playing Harry Potter or something, but it turns out she just wants to watch the stream or watch it.
Yeah, that's
like,
cool.
It's not like I don't fucking talk enough in the house. Now she wants to watch me talk about something she knows nothing about as well. So brilliant. But just going back to just to touch on the Aztecs for a very quick bit. So I said to him, I was like, look, if you guys pants the Cambridge Cats. And I'm just ignoring it now.
It's brilliant.
If you guys pants the Cats, and if the Blitz ultimately struggle against the Warriors, I'm gonna have. I was like, I'm gonna have no problem picking the Aztecs the whole way through, and I'll even pick them over the Warriors. But now that Green has chirped, I've kind of want to go back on that just to be a difficult bastard and just be like, nah, fuck you. Yeah. But the reality is that they'd probably just win the whole fucking championship to. There we go. The reality is they'd probably go win the whole fucking championship just to stick it to me. So
hey, that's what I said.
I don't know. Yeah, and the thing is now I can't
just to stick it to you. I must admit,
no, they definitely want to win it for the sake of winning.
Many more motives.
Yes, but it's a nice caveat, like a nice bonus to stick it to us. But the thing is, I can't go back in them now because they're going to be like, nah, you were a hater. We don't want you. Don't you? You didn't like us at our worst. You can't have us at our best. Yeah, fuck off. I don't think. So I went to Scotland and I went and met some Scottish. Yes, I went to the Highlands. I went and met some of our lovely supporters. So Sportank supporters in the Highlands. So I met up with Tom, who's obviously always in the comments there, Tom Hutchinson, and then and Ben Senior from. So Tom, as we know, is affiliated with the Highland Stags. Ben is the Highland Stags OC, but he's also the head coach of the Wildcats, so the youth team, the under-16 team.
Yeah.
Who I think is the most successful under-16 team in UK football. They've won 10 fucking Brit Balls.
They're decent.
So I went and met them up at their facility, and I just said, yes, there you go. Steve's just said the Aztecs need to send me a t-shirt.
I'll probably send you one.
It'll probably have shit in it. I went and met up with them at the Highland Wildcats facility, and mate, it is so much better than pretty much every adult Brit Ball fucking facility that I've ever been to. In fact, the fact is that most adult teams don't have a fucking facility. And I went up and I had a look, and it's honestly, it reminded me of what a high school locker room in the States would look like, or maybe like a D3 college. So it's obviously not fucking, sparkling and everything like that, but the shit that they've got there is what I believe should be like a mandated minimum for most teams. And all they do is they decide to pull their fucking finger out when it comes to fundraising. They don't just fob it off. And we know from experience, because you put together a fucking package for fundraising, most adult teams are up to fuck all when it comes to fundraising. They'll be like, we asked the local pub.
Although I think, and the other point is, I think when they do manage to raise funds, they don't spend it very well.
Yeah.
Like improving facilities or offerings from the organization. It's I know, probably nicked in most cases. Pays off debts,
But I couldn't believe it. I was walking around, and it's not a big facility, but they've got a dedicated film room. They've got the lockers that set up there, and then from my understanding is they're going to be sort of sharing it with the Stags. So you've got the under 16 Wildcats, and then the Stags will be up top, and they'll share a locker. But the helmets are all there, lined up, ready to go, fucking looking marvelous. And then, like I said, they've got a separate room for film where they can all sit in there and break it down, have a film session, and then they run. I should have taken some fucking notes, to be honest with you, because there's so much running around my head right now. But they run like a separate, I think it's like a flag league as well that they run, and they've got buckets of like fucking big 60-liter tubs full of like jerseys for all these like flag leagues that they run throughout the schools in the Highlands and shit like that. And they have this massive competition. Every club in the UK should be looking at the Wildcats and the Stags and going, how do we do what you're doing? Like, fucking Tom should never be able to put, like, Tom and Ben should never be able to put their fucking, more Ben, because Ben is obviously the guy with the Wildcat. There we go. Hard work pays off. Would love to see other teams following suit, make Brett Ball something worth being proud of. Every fucking team should, like, Ben should never be able to put his phone down, because he should have GMs and coaches from every fucking organization in the country, bar maybe a few of the top ones like Bristol, like the London. Apart from that, everybody should be in Ben's DMs on his phone. Like his mum should think, his missus should think that he's like off dogging or something, because his phone is just blowing up all the fucking time.
Is that what happens when you go
random
off
people? Pardon?
I wouldn't know.
People always wanted to meet up. No, but they should not be leaving him alone, because they should be going, how did you do it? What is your secret? How do we set our like, I want to say franchise, but it's not franchise. How do we set our organization up like what you have? They are the fucking model. King's used to trying to emulate them. We had a 3-day camp for 25 kids. Perfect. Anything that you can do that's the opposite of the King's adult, do it. Mate, I went to Dunfermline. What a hole. Fuck that place.
Yeah, I know you.
Sorry, Tony. Sorry, Tony.
You had some bad fortune there, like something didn't work.
I was there for a job. I was there for a job, and I turned up at the site, and the customer's like, "Oh no, we don't want it now." And I've just driven fucking 3.5 hours to get there, and they're like, "We might want it later in the week though, just not today." And I was like, and they were like, "You can help us move this big industrial skip though, if you've got some time to spend." No, mate. No. Yeah, miserable experience in the actual area of Dunfermline. But
you seemed enchanted with Scotland on the whole, though.
Oh, mate, loved it. Like I was gone for 2.5 days. Like the drive up to, I don't get why people complain about traveling to Inverness. Fuck me, it's a beautiful trip. Yeah. I suppose I didn't have it pissing with rain, so I got the one day where it was sunny. But like up the A9, it's a gorgeous fucking drive. And then I made the trip over to Aberdeen. I thought Aberdeen was cool. Like it's all granite, but I thought it was a cool city. Yeah. Like it just made me think that like the England's just not trying very hard, because all the fucking towns and cities I've gone to in England are just full of like smackheads and Heron Foods and fucking home bargains.
You didn't see a smackhead in Scotland?
Pardon? What they were hiding, I guess. Like maybe I didn't know where to look. Like in the UK, I don't have to look very hard. I go to the high street and they're just there. But Scotland, I guess they were inside doing their drugs, like, polite snackheads.
Respectable drug dealers.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
They got some standards.
Yeah, I know, right? The weather's just worse, so they have to do them inside.
Yeah. They don't want to ruin all their drugs.
But moving away from smackheads. I thought the Wildcats and the Stags and everything, and I think it sort of ties in with, you look at what the Stags have done in coming from association like 2 years ago to now being granted they're in a fucking piss poor division, but they're top of it. They're undefeated. Like, just everybody should be looking at the Stags and the Wildcats and going, how do we do what you do? And if you're not doing it, if you're sitting there watching this and you're going, nah, we're all right, you're lying to yourself. You're fucking lying to yourself, because 90% of the fucking clubs in this country could do with upgrading their facilities, could do with upgrading everything. 3/4 of them, I bet, just have a fucking like a shared changing room at a rugby club or some shit, and they've just got all this shit stored away behind a roller door that's got a padlock on it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my rant. That's my rant.
That's not a rant, but yeah. I do have a couple of talking points, but then there's a third one which was to do with the games yesterday.
Nathan asked if Stags is better than Filton facilities. I've never been to Filton, so I don't know.
Yes, you have.
Have I?
You went there for the Seahawks.
Well, that was just on the ground though. Like I didn't walk around in the fucking.
You didn't go and see it. Yeah, you didn't get.
Yeah, I didn't get a tour. Like people didn't roll out the red carpet for me like Highlands did. Highlands went, Oz is coming to town. Like this is a Britball celebrity. Whereas Filton,
I obviously played there, but like I've had a really good look around the facilities and stuff, and it's really impressive.
Whereas Filton was like, Oz is coming to town. Let's make sure he runs.
Just lock closed.
Yeah, exactly.
So I've got a few things to talk about. The first one I'll start with is more, I suppose, more off topic, but still relevant. I've been in my time off. I've been looking at. I'd spend a lot of time on like TikTok and social media in general. I do, man. And I don't. Yeah. Most of the time it's because of Sport Tank, and I try and look for stuff and see if there's better ways of doing things. But anyway, I came across a couple of videos of Kiwi High School, I think it was, rugby schools playing each other, and they had hackers.
New Zealand schools.
Yeah, in New Zealand. So that and there was these. I didn't mean. Well, I was probably the most disrespectful thing I could do, but it did make me laugh watching them like sticking their tongues out and stuff. But these two groups of kids, and it wasn't just like
it's the whole school.
Yeah, it was loads of lads.
Yeah.
Have you ever been involved in that?
So I didn't. So I went to a public school.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. State funded.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. See, in the UK, public school means a private school. I don't know why.
Okay. So the best
state-funded school, that's clear. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to a state-funded school, and I played my rugby for a rugby club. Yeah. So if you went to a public school, generally your first 15 was like average level. Like it was not something that you'd brag about, because the majority of the players wanted to play club rugby because they'd been playing club since they were 5-6 years old, and they'd come up through that club. So they focused it. Whereas if you go to a private school, predominantly your first 15 is it's like your first 15 and your first 11 are your pride and joy, depending on the school. So I had a lot of mates that went to private schools. And so some of the biggest ones was one of my best mates went to a school called St. Bede's in Christchurch. They had a massive rivalry with Christchurch Boys High. So Christchurch Boys High is one of the best rugby schools in the country. It's produced alumni such as Dan Carter, Richie McCaw, both Major Brothers.
Richie's a friend of mine.
Who?
Richie McCaw.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I've played against him in a friendly.
For me, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like New Zealand's such a small world. Like the one Kiwi that I knew when I worked in London, she knew Richie McCaw, and she told me.
Yeah, I played against him. I played him against him in a charity match, and and he shit on everybody going at like 35%. He's just another level.
Yeah, he's awesome.
But Christchurch Boys High is historically one of the best rugby schools in the country. Usually the best school in Christchurch. So we have what's called the Press Cup competition. So the Press is like our version of, I don't know, the Guardian. It's like the main fucking newspaper in Christchurch.
Right. Yeah.
And they would sponsor the first 15 rugby competition so you could enter the Press Cup if you were like, didn't matter what sort of school you were. There's a lot. There didn't matter what school. You could be a private or a public school, and you could enter the Press Cup, but you would have to kind of like think about like the FA Cup. You have like qualifying rounds for the more shit schools. Yeah. So it'd be the same sort of thing. So generally, once it got to like the round robin competition, it was always the same schools. It was always.
I played in the FA Cup. That's our shit. Like, it was like 6th round. I played. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, but it's all the Fuck off, James. It's
a little political on us, isn't he?
Just ignore him. It's always like St. Bede's, Christ College, St. Andrews College, Christchurch Boys High, and then Nelson College, and then a couple others, Timaru Boys. So they're usually the best ones in the South Island competition. And then what will happen is mostly before you have, especially one of the rival matches. So Boys High versus Syrups. So Syrups is what the nickname for Christ College is. Boys High versus Christ College. Both schools would generally get the day off school because they're both single gender schools. So they're all boys. Yeah. And you would get the day off school to go watch the first 15 game. And it would generally be played at a place that had like a stadium that could fit sort of 10,000 people.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Big stadium.
You would have your entire school there, and it would have, so you'd have your first 15 would be playing, but generally they would be backed by the seconds, thirds, fourths, and fifths. And they would be the guys that are on the sideline that when you have the pre-game haka, so you have the team in the middle doing, like the actual starting lineup would be doing the haka, but then on the sidelines, you've got the second 15, third 15, fourth 15, fifth 15. They're all standing there doing the haka at the same time. And a lot of schools will have different hakas. So there's not just one haka.
No, I noticed that. I noticed they were different.
A lot of schools
I'm fairly familiar with the All Blacks.
Well, the All Blacks got 3.
Oh, I always thought they did the same one.
No, they've got 3.
No, I only ever seen one.
There's about 6 through the New Zealand national teams, I think, that I can think of. And I think I know about 3 of them, and I only know one of them properly.
So, going back to my question, have you ever done a haka before?
Yes.
A game of sport, a sporting event.
Yeah. My under-15s rugby team travelled to Australia. Ironic, I did a haka as a New Zealander in Australia when I was born in Australia. So my under-15s rugby team travelled to Australia and we did a tour around Queensland. And before each game, we had to do a haka.
That's awesome. Have you got
history with Oz?
Have you got any?
Last time we talked about like the New Zealand American football setup. Now we're talking about the rugby setup.
Yeah, I like I said, I just saw the content on my social media and these kids, and they're like so impassioned by it. So, and that's really my question,
Nathan. Yes,
I can't imagine you in that, because I know you played sport to a good level there. So I imagine you've been in a situation where a team against you have done the haka or a haka, or you yourself had.
Internationally, I've done one. Like, for sure.
You do?
Sure. Because
so if someone turned their back on you, would you be like, right, deaf to him?
Oh no. It's see, the misconception is like when they turn your back, you're like, oh, it's disrespectful. It's like you can react however you want because I don't care about you. This haka is for me.
Right,
this is for me, for my boys, for my team.
Gotcha.
Right? It's for my mana.
So why don't you do it in a circle then, facing each other? Why do you have to face the opposition if it's only for you?
I have no idea. It's because it's still a war dance. It's still a challenge. That's the thing. When you're performing it for you, but it's still a challenge. That you're putting down. So I've done 1 on foreign soil. I've done 4 total.
Have you?
I've done 3 at home.
And so, I know we need to get to other stuff, but I find this fascinating. Never talked about this with you before. How do you prepare for it? Like, do you practice it?
Yeah,
they're like
for sure.
Rehearsal, like
when I was 15, and we were doing it for the under 15s, we had so many guys that didn't fully know the haka that we were going to do. Right. So we fucking practiced it in the underground parking lot of the hotel that we were staying in. And we got
like full voice. So
yeah. Because the thing it's because you've got a lot of the guys in my team, especially because I was like a public school, public rugby club sort of thing. I had a lot of Pacific Islander rugby Māori boys in my team. So guys that are very passionate and have a lot of mana, and they're very
a lot of
mana.
What's that? Mana.
Spirit. It's MANA.
Spirit.
Spirit. It's kind of like it's a very spiritual thing for the Māori people.
Gotcha.
And it's like your your inner spirit, your inner passion, and for things that are very sort of connected to your culture.
Yeah.
So we had guys that, because you can take kapa haka as a class at school.
So does haka mean war dance? Because I heard you just say it's a war dance.
I don't know the exact translation. Yeah. So, but you can take kapa haka as a class at school where you're not just learning about the haka, but you're learning about the significance behind it, and not just the dance, but the movements, the words. Because every movement you make,
I would be fascinated by that.
Every movement you make means something, and it's a lot of it is it's You're actually really intelligent, man. Because a lot of it is to do with it's bringing up the roots of your ancestors and bringing them into yourself, and you're providing strength. And there's a lot of nuances behind it. So we had guys that were very, very passionate, that were doing, they were doing kapa haka at school, and it was very sacred to them. So if you were gonna fuck it round, they didn't even want you around. They were like, look, just go off, swim in the pool or something like that. I was not.
Were you in the night? Oh, is that Amani? His name was. I think it's that if that's who Coach Rains is talking about.
I was not.
I can remember Martin. So this was this was years ago. His cousin was Junior Seau.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he wanted his wife Heidi played for England rugby.
Holy shit!
Women's England. Amani Naya. Yeah. He was awesome. And
that sort of ties
he
in
with my
with
number because it was Junior Seau's number 55.
Oh yeah, and you told him to fuck himself.
He settled for 5. I was like, I ain't giving anyone my fucking number. They didn't even ask me. They're just like, no, you won't get it off.
That sort of ties in with what Nathan asked. Nathan asked if the Māori haka is different to other hakas. Yes. Each Pacific Island nation has their own hakas. So a Māori haka will be different from a Samoan haka, which will be different from a Fijian haka, a Niuean, Cook Island. Like the Aboriginals, the indigenous people of Australia, they have their own war dance. It's not a haka per se, but they have their own as well. So all of the indigenous cultures have their own war dance of sorts.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, right, let's move on.
Should we talk about British American football?
Yeah, I know. Sure. I just was very curious about it, and I thought it might be something people are interested in. We just dropped 50 viewers or something, but that's fine. I remember this. And he also mimed what was it? Like surfing.
Oh, I had
when he scored.
I had a mate that loved rugby league growing up. One of his favorite rugby league players, a guy called Greg Inglis. And what Greg Inglis used to do after scoring a try, didn't matter if it was for his club team, for his country, whatever, he would do what was called the goanna. So he would score and he'd slide. And then, so a goanna is like a big
lizard.
It's a big fucking, but they are rapid. So he would score and he'd slide and he'd go into a goanna. And I had a mate that used to go into that every time. And I was like, mate, flexibility. I ain't got it. Because he'd have his fucking knees up by his head when he's crawling and shit.
I bet.
It's insane. So
yeah, we've got the swan dive. That was what England were famous for. Doing the swan dive into the
and then it got banned in rugby because people
did get banned.
Getting hurt. Yeah.
But
I still think the two best that I saw doing the swan dive were Brian Habana from South Africa. And Jason Robinson from England.
Oh no, I Jason Robinson was class. I thought you were going to say, is it Ashton or Aston?
Oh, Adam.
I remember, but I remember him being.
So there was
like,
Austin Healy used to do a bit of a swan dive.
Healy, yeah, I mean that's years ago. Yeah.
Anyway,
right. Let's. So the Trojans folded and are now in associate status. Did you know that?
Yes, and I think I think it's a fucking cop out.
Ashton, thank you.
I think it's a fucking cop out that they folded post transfer portal.
Mate, well,
what a fucking joke.
Yeah,
if you're going to fold before the transfer portal, let your guys go play elsewhere, right?
Yep. I wonder if there's anyone that feels trapped by that because they're just. It looks like they're just trying to secure people for next year.
It literally is. It is a ham-fisted attempt to essentially stop the fucking because the thing is, right? If they fold pre-transfer portal, everybody fucks off. The Trojans don't exist anymore because no one wants to come back to the shithole.
Self-preservation.
It is gone. It is gone. Yeah. It is a ham-fisted attempt for them to be like, oh, the Trojans will come back bigger and better. There we go, Statman. 4th time they fucking folded. Mate, the Trojans are turning into. Do you remember those little fucking card things you had at school where you like move it around? It was like, these are the numbers, these are the colors. Mate, the Trojans are turning into that. Yeah, all from 100% knew it. They did. They 100% knew that they were going to fold earlier on, and they've just waited to the transfer deadline, and they've gone, right, this is our attempt to keep the organization remnants together, and they've just fucking handcuffed people. It is bullshit.
Yeah, and the thing is though, the players, that's not a way to operate, right? The players are going to be savvy to it. They're going to think, oh, well, you fucking bound me now. Like,
like the players are being held
hostage.
hostage.
See through it.
The players are being
waiver it.
Mate, the Baffert won't do a fucking thing.
I don't know.
God forbid they do anything slightly remotely controversial.
They got color schemes to pick out for the finals and stuff, haven't they? That's another thing I wanted to talk about.
Mate, they've got it at the moment. They're just in giant fucking talks with Domino's to make sure there's enough pizza for the final.
They should have taken your advice. Maybe they have taken the advice and become Corn Bay. That would be awesome. Imagine if they did get called Corn Bay, though. I think you have to be named after an actual place. You can't just make up a name.
I'm pretty sure with the amount of places that there are in England, that
imagine if there's got to be a Corn Bay.
There's got to be a Corn Bay somewhere.
They should be refunded. Again, you'll never get that. Again, it's one of Baffer's great little money makers, isn't it?
Yeah,
take everyone's money and then make it really hard to exist.
absolute fucking joke though. Fuming. Someone else mentioned it to me, and I was just like, "This is some bullshit."
So a lot of people have got this same thought process, but Jordan has said Baffert definitely need to make a rule that allows folded club players to sign elsewhere. Piss take if your season gets cut short because of your bad management. Although I don't know, the players are some part in that, right? Like their level of commitment and.
The thing is, right, they're not going to be. I think Jordan's talking about the players that remained, like obviously the ones that are still turning up to training, trying to play, and then the team folds while they're still active. But Baffer's never going to fucking do that either, because they're going to get food at last year's final considerably improved.
They're more concerned with that feedback than they are with the existing.
100%. They'll watch the whole stream, and that's all they'll take away from it. We struggled with the food last year. Improved.
We're going to put 20 grand into it. This is a safe number.
They'll get Boris to cater it at number 10. Like, it's just, they're not going to do anything at all that will cause for any stir. Like anything, because the thing is, the moment they start saying that, like what Jordan said, if your club folds, you can go somewhere else. Then the clubs are going to be like, oh, how do we retain our players? It's so hard for us to stay competitive. We can't retain our players because they've all gone.
Funny voice, isn't they?
Yeah.
Just beware if you find a wooden horse outside your facility.
The food was shut. I was forced to drink loads of beer to fill the gap.
Another topic we've stumbled into.
Yeah.
Let's stay away.
So Tony said that it's players that cause teams to fold.
Yeah, so I think there's a controversial statement there, but I like I said, I think I don't know that I'm quite as strong on that statement, but I do think it's not all the manager's fault. I like the management's fault. You've got to have players that are committed and
yes,
for a team to deteriorate like that. I think at the beginning of the season they say they had 60 players or something. Am I right in saying that? I remember them bragging and boasting because I remember saying last year, the Trojans can't last much.
Yeah, I remember that. We said the same thing last year about how they were shithouse, and how they were going to struggle this season, and we were like, no, we're wrong. Yeah. We've got 50 plus players at trainings and stuff. Trojan horse helped get soldiers into Troy. Torbay Trojans have the exact opposite issue. Everybody's leaving via a Trojan horse. So James just mentioned the main issue is the club officials keeping the decision until after the deadline. It wouldn't have been a 1 week decision to fold a club. Exactly. 100%. You do not wait until after the transfer deadline goes and then you announce you're folding and you're like, oh, we do this with a hard heart. It's a spur of the moment. No, it's fucking not.
It's the most cliche shit that pours out of them, isn't it? It's like
you've been talking about this week fucking
Can you write a sob story for why my team's folding and then just fucking copy paste it?
Exactly. It's you've known since week 4 when you only put up fucking 2 points per game in your first 4 games. Like you've known that this was on the horizon. Who's next?
Oh, let's not do that. Leicester Panthers. No, I
Whew! Fucking hell, that's spicy.
I think they've got a rough time. They'll be fine, But yeah. So there's a couple other points. There's one point I want to talk about, but we'll talk about it in between the two. Before we do the predictions. And another point I want to talk about, but we'll wait till we get to the game because there's something from a particular game that we.
So posted. James has just mentioned that Torbay came to Portsmouth and was just looking for fights, not football. Says a lot about the team.
That's a shame.
So the Kings did it as soon as they knew. So the Kings guys are now on other teams. Exactly. It makes Div 2 Southwest, Cornwall, Somerset, and Portsmouth. It's 3 teams in that fucking division.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Portsmouth have got no more away games.
They've still got
They shouldn't be in that.
They've still got Somerset away.
Have they? It's not so bad. Portsmouth Somerset's all right.
Bedford can't be bothered unless it's the final of the Premier or the national game. Correct.
Yeah. They love the national team, but they just don't love putting sponsorship into it. They just love us paying for it.
Great Britain.
Anyway, do all 3 make the playoffs? Yeah, I think so. I need to if they're in a.
James has just mentioned Ouse Valley's there as well.
Right. Oh, that what near the end? I don't know, man. I saw them beat the Reading Renegade.
I think he was just meaning in terms of who they've got to play. They've got an away game at Ouse Valley.
Ah, right. Okay. There is a cross-division round to go. Oh, there's cross-divisional games. Okay, cool. Divisions, yeah, of course, yeah. I mean, particularly if you get the Highlands getting promoted, they'll be. But yeah, they have to rearrange this.
There's going to be a big reshuffle next year.
It's a mess. I think that's going to be par for the course for the next few years until either Baffa get their way and you're just left with elite teams, or people start to put more pressure on Baffa and we get a new cycle of people involved and all of this shit. Well, I'd say this shit goes away. It never does.
It never does. Let's not even pretend like it will.
But I think this community always likes to give, and for the right reasons. You like to give when there's a change of guard. You're like, okay, let's see what this person's made of. Let's see what they can do.
I think the benefit of the doubt is slightly fading.
I think Pete's. Yeah, I think he's expired. Like, I think people realize he wants more to do with cricket than he does with American football. Testament to that isn't that he recently celebrated joining the ECB cricket board. I don't get it. I asked the dude in the AGM, what does he want his legacy to be in the sport? And he just doesn't care about the sport, essentially. Like, he doesn't. There's nothing about the sport that he likes. He just wants it. He just wants it to exist and it to be elite.
Paycheck.
Doesn't care about the growth of it. Yeah, I'm gonna stop going on about him because I feel like with me talking about him, the people that are sort of neutral will dig their heels in a little bit and won't start to dislike him, like, because I'm such a polarizing character. So I just wait for it to die off, essentially. Because how long has he got left? I don't know. Hopefully he quits tomorrow. I don't know.
Pop Tibbs is coming up.
Look at him plugging his So just to let you guys know, there's going to be a Uniball rundown. But it will be about the Uniball this Friday at 7 p.m. because the fixtures are going to be released. So Tebs and Co. or guest, co-host. I don't know what he's rounding up, but they'll be talking through it all. So yeah. and then hopefully soon, well, not hopefully, I know soon, we'll then hand it over to them to do the rundown on a Monday night, and I can just relax.
But I like talking to you. It's the only time we ever get to chat.
Oh, see you next year. Right.
Should we talk about some games?
Yeah, let's do that. Some results.
How poorly did we go?
Oh, I'm just trying to get the. So, do you want to start? Do you want to start going through them? I don't mind.
Yeah. I mean, if you rattle them off and
yeah, sweet. So, Prem North. Yeah. Leicester Panthers 6, Edinburgh Wolves 53.
Let's go, Edinburgh.
So let's just check that in the North. I don't know if that Oh no. So Leicester are still in a relegation fight with Merseyside.
Yes.
Let's have a look at the fixtures then. What's left?
Because it is.
Oh, and they play each other on the last week of the year.
Yeah, it's getting spicy. It's getting spicy.
So Merseyside 2 games left. One of them's East Kilbride Pirates. I consider that a winnable game for them, although it's away and tough.
Well, it depends on what Tony's going to tell us about EKP's line. If EKP have managed to resolve their line injuries and they haven't got lines playing.
Yeah.
It'll be Oz with a phone.
But then we've also got so
David's just decided to inform us of our bad analysis that Merseyside have scored 8 points all season.
Yeah. But you know they've got the Leicester Panthers have got Manchester Titans, so that's a loss, and then their only other game is against Merseyside on the last day. So assuming that Merseyside get beat by EKP, it will come down to that last fixture. And the last time they played, it was a 6-point game, week 6. May 14th, Merseyside 8, Leicester Panthers 14.
And that's the only 8 points that Merseyside have scored all season.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, I haven't checked, but that's what David was telling us.
Yeah, they've only scored 8 points.
Yeah. Well, against Leicester, and that's it.
And Leicester have scored 75. So it doesn't look. I would say it doesn't look good for Merseyside.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But the other side of the coin is obviously the Wolves' solid win, firmly locked into a playoff battle with Tamworth.
Is it? Are they that locked in?
Mate, they're both 6-2.
Oh, 6-2. Yeah. So who have Tamworth? Let's have a look at who Tamworth have got. Do you know who the opponents are for the two teams?
I've got
they play each other. That'll be.
Yeah, so they do.
Yes.
I don't know why. I don't know whether it's our website or whether it's.
We got them both on the 19th. I know what it is. We would only have had a certain number of weeks, and then they may have added another one, I think, or rescheduled it. I think our rescheduler pushes everything to the last day of the year. That's what it is. Sorry.
Right. So, but we've got the Wolves. The Wolves have got the Phoenix. So Wolves have Tamworth this weekend. So
the Phoenix, and then the Phoenix have got the Titans. So,
but we've been told that Tamworth have got their number 1 QB back as well. So that sort of leads us into our next game, which was Phoenix 45, Merseyside 0. So Phoenix are rolling if they've got their QB1 back.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a hell of a game, Edinburgh versus Tamworth.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, like
yeah,
that, right?
I would love to see. The Tamworth QB1, no Sam Chance.
He's no Sam.
I would love to see just like a 50-50 scoreline. Like just literally just going.
Everyone thinks we can just be everywhere anytime. We can't. We've got two sets of kit, but they're both down south.
Yeah, Northern. We tried to put together a Northern team and it just didn't work.
Yeah, well, not yet. We'll probably get one soon, but yeah, like we'll travel like an hour and a half max from where we live. Like we're not gonna put ourselves out to go up to Scotland or the Midlands or anything.
I mean, I'd put myself out to go up to Scotland. I'd take the missus.
You don't have any kit.
Yeah, but I just have to drive down and pick it up from you.
Oh yeah, that's worth doing.
Mate, honestly, I couldn't give a shit. I don't mind driving. Like,
I don't because you'll give everyone ideas.
No. I was gonna say, I'm literally driving to Cornwall in like 4 days.
We do this for free. Oh, sorry, that my light turned a bit bright then. We do this for free at the moment. So, like, I think once we start getting money in, then we can sort of start to set better expectations. But for now, it's just about getting.
Yeah, I'm literally driving to Cornwall in like 4 days. So I'm just gonna take a piss in Torbay while I go there. Right. So Douglas loves the t-shirt. Yes, go the Stags. Oz, where's your cat? He's downstairs with the missus. He's just enjoying not being annoyed by me. Tom, we've already talked about this. All right, you need to get your playoff game against the Vikings. We'll see. That's the Inverness is a bit more of a drive. Like, I don't mind the Glasgow Edinburgh drive. Like, the missus loves Edinburgh as well, so I could literally just drop her off in Edinburgh and she'd be like fucking stoked. But Inverness is a little bit, but I do need to take her to Inverness because it's such a beautiful little town. I loved it. Right, so moving on. Manchester 48, EKP 10. Does it tell us much? No, just Manchester rolling.
Yeah, doing all right.
Yeah,
as we expect. We'll see Manchester in the semis, like,
yes.
and actually we'll see Manchester in the finals. Probably a better way to say it. Like, they're solid, right?
Yeah, they're great. They're a top two team in the country.
Yeah,
based on historic.
Arguably, they're the best team in the country.
They are still the defending champs.
They're still reigning champs.
Yeah, reigning champs. So there's nothing that you can say.
They did what reigning champs do.
Yeah,
148-10.
100%, exactly. It's if you're a Manchester player and you're a little bit upset that we don't talk more about your team, it's because you're really good and everybody knows you're really good. And you beat everybody by lots of points.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't think we say anything controversial.
There's not much to say about them. They're great.
Well, I'd say all Northern teams we don't know loads about, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's just all we know is we like I know a few Manchester players because as James says, I know everybody. And they're just great. They're just a great, well-run organization who just outperforms everybody else that's put in front of them during regular season play. And then we have to sort of reevaluate them when the playoffs come.
Mm-hmm. So Tamworth 45, Merseyside Nighthawks 0. I think, again, sort of like what we just said, like a return to form for the Phoenix. I think
big bounce back with QB1.
They had a tough start or a slow start to the season. And as you said, there've been personnel issues that I wasn't aware of, but they're just firing again now. And what a time to start firing, right? Like,
especially a week, like Tony says, a week before the Wolves game. So
yeah.
The essentially the game that decides your
postseason.
Postseason. Yeah. Because if they win it, they can afford to drop because they're going to drop the Manchester game anyway.
Yeah.
So no offense, but you're going to.
So they need to win by 8. Is it the 8-point differential? Is it?
Yeah, I think because based on what the first time round they played. First time around they played Edinburgh, beat them 30-7. James, I don't have any fucking Sport Tank merch myself. Like, I've got none to send you. Steve doesn't send me any, so I can't send it to you. No, so the Wolves beat them 30-7 in the first matchup. So Tamworth needs to win quite convincingly.
Yeah. So, I don't know that they can do that.
I don't know if they can either. I'm spoiler alert, I'm picking the Wolves to win it anyway because I want the Wolves to go to the semis.
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Right, let's move on.
Move to the south. Warriors Blitz.
It was it was close for a little while, and then the Warriors.
And then it was just like every other Warriors Blitz game.
As always.
And you picked the Blitz.
Yeah.
Okay. It's all right. I picked the Cats, so I can't. you know.
Yeah. At least I didn't get any. I didn't get any abuse from any Blitz players.
Well, you wouldn't have.
Sent in. I'm sure they fucking.
You would have got abuse. You would have got abuse from Warriors players. and we all know that Tony doesn't let that happen.
The Warriors players wouldn't be like that. Yeah,
No.
sorry, I was thinking it would be the Blitz. It wouldn't. It would be the Warriors. But
It would be the Warriors.
normally you get like screenshots or little clips, and they like circle stuff, and they send it like, "Yeah, told you," and you're like, oh.
Yeah. This week, that's
like,
it. This week, Warriors QB had a gum shield.
Yeah, that's good. It's safety first.
Safety first means you can play and beat down your opponents. 41-14. That's
that grey shirt. Are
yeah, that's you, mate. That's you. No, that's you. You're looking slim, looking trim, my friend.
Am I? Oh,
yeah,
great.
You're looking good. That's a pretty big gap.
Plunging neckline.
I was gonna say, like, you've got the V going on and everything. Yeah.
Got a little tan with it. Right, let's go.
If that plunges anymore, we're going to see your snail trail.
Belly button.
Right. Do you take anything away from the fact that that's quite a convincing win for the Warriors? Like, is this what we talked about? Like, the Blitz were going to be on the receiving end of the bounce back. Yeah.
It's one of the fiercest rivalries in Britball, I would say.
I would say, can you name a fiercer one?
I don't want to, because then everyone starts going, "No, well, what about this and that?" And I just say, if I say one of the fiercest, Porn Tank. we were called Gridiron Hub.
Yeah.
And someone, I showed you it, didn't I?
Yes, Gridiron Hub in the Pornhub writing.
The Pornhub. I don't know.
I remember because I couldn't remember what the Pornhub logo looked like, so then I googled it on my work computer on the screen.
That's right. I completely.
And had to explain to the IT department why I was googling Pornhub on a work computer. Yeah.
Makes Blitz Aztecs really tight for second spot in the Prem.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
the Aztecs are in contention for first place, mate. I don't know if you know. Like, let's just dial that back a second. Like, I think it's more Aztecs. It's based on like both of them are a game ahead of the Blitz. Like,
the Aztecs are top of the league.
They're top of the table. Yeah.
How is that? Points difference is better for the Warriors. They should. The Warriors.
I thought it's points against. It's fewer points against.
Yeah, and the Warriors have fewer, so the Warriors should be top.
Either way, like, I'm not saying it makes Blitz Aztecs really tight for the second spot in the Prem South, because I don't know if that's, like, I get that the game that they're going to play would sort of dictate if the Blitz fall out and everything like that. But I still feel like the Warriors have got to, like,
the Warriors need to beat the Aztecs.
That was my question. Does this bounce back erase the questions from last week? Head-to-head's tiebreaker 1. That's why Bristol's ahead.
Of course. I should know that. I made a graphic of it this week.
Yeah, you did.
Sorry. Ask the question again. I forgot that.
Does this performance against the Blitz by the Warriors erase the question marks from their loss to the Aztecs last week?
No. I find it odd that we do this in Britball a lot, where one team gets one result and then everyone thinks that, like, oh, now they're the better team. And
oh yeah,
I don't think we're in that situation. I think between the Blitz, Warriors, and Aztecs, they can take points off of each other. Like, that's what I think we're in, which is a great place to be, right? We don't have that up in the north. Yeah, 2 huge games for Aztecs, could be first, second, or third. Yeah. So I believe the Aztecs will win their final 2 games against the Blitz and the Warriors, which is insane. Yeah. So we had a lot of things come in there. Aztecs played very well on the pass. So can you explain why you're on point? Logo. Yeah. That's what it was, though, wasn't it? Like, you had to send the live. I had to clip.
Yeah, I had to clip.
I had to recording, didn't I?
Yeah. So So just for reference, I had to get Steve to clip the fucking section where I googled it live on stream, so I could send it to my IT department as reference and say, "This is why it was in my search history."
So funny. But yeah, cool. So Bristol Aztecs are top of the league.
Yes.
For week 15, which is unbelievable.
I was on Cornhub. Looking for a tractor.
Cornhub. Yeah.
Ozwatch is what?
What
What's that?
Let's not get into it.
Okay.
Aztecs running game is something to behold. Yeah, they got some big. That KK is just unbelievable. But they've also got some other studs in the stable, as it were. You know, they got some very good running backs. Cool. So
speaking of the Aztecs 49, Cats 9.
I'm going to say I'm not surprised, right? But I think you're going to say you are.
Anybody who backed the Cats had no idea what they were talking about.
Google it.
Yes. No, I think I won't. Come on, guys.
We would have been called Sport Hub if it hadn't already been taken.
Sport
Hub.
Was my
because I changed it from Gridiron because we are going to focus on other sports soon, not in our media coverage, but in what we offer on our website.
Yeah.
Before we change the sport.
This is just
what's up.
This is 49-9 Aztecs over Cats. This is just the Aztecs just continuing to hit their stride.
Yeah, like at the perfect time in the season, right?
Yeah. They're peaking.
I don't know. Like I can remember back to last year, like we were feeling good again, you know, towards the end of the season. But then we did lose a game right at the end to the Blitz, but we'd already qualified. We were already in the playoffs. So I think it was sort of like let's wait. Let's win
bit of a dead rubber.
Hey,
bit of a dead rubber.
Yeah. So and that. I mean, it didn't. I don't think it changed the way that we wanted to play in the semis, and obviously we lost that to the Titans. But like it. I feel like hitting your stride now and then playing the big opponents, then going into the playoffs, like is like that's just going to keep.
Some of the best season prep that you can do. Like if you're finding your footing in the back half of the season in the biggest games of your season.
Yeah.
Like
the make or break for the season.
It's the way that you want
in that position last year, qualified early.
It's the way that you want to be coming into the playoffs when you're only going to be like playing great teams.
And the reason for that, the reason why the Aztecs qualify, obviously the results, but the Thrashers took one off of the Blitz, and that made it much easier to qualify early. So that hasn't happened this year. So we're still in a situation where anyone in the I think it's the top 3 can qualify for postseason football.
Yeah, because currently the top 2, so Warriors and Blitz have dropped 1. So Aztecs dropped 1 to the Blitz, Warriors dropped 1 to the Aztecs. Do you want to just touch on that from Steve? Something I didn't know.
We're talking about I didn't know either. So Coach Raines has said that Aztecs are on it. Big question: will the Warriors 2 starting middle linebackers play the next game? They miss Bristol
at home. Yes, that makes it really interesting. Run game versus run stop game.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'll still back the Aztecs. Like I said, I think they're gonna win out. They're gonna be the champions this year.
You reckon? So national. You're picking them over the Titans as well, national champs.
Yeah. I think they'll win every game.
Nice,
they have to play the rest of the season.
Nice.
I said it about 2 weeks ago. I think.
Yeah, I know, but I wasn't paying attention.
I changed my mind.
I was just being a hater. Moving down to the NFC 1 Central. Northumberland Vikings 28, Scunthorpe Alphas 0, Dirty Hits 1.
Yeah, so that was one of my talking points that I wanted to talk about. So we posted that we were sent the clip. I was sent incorrect information, so I said that it was the hit was in the back was on the punt returner. It wasn't. It was on a blocker. I think most people watching this probably would have seen it. We posted it on our Facebook. I think we posted it on all social media actually. Let me just grab I'll see if I can get it from Instagram.
I've got it here on Facebook if you want.
I've got it on Instagram. Hold on, let me just I'll just get it up and we'll play it.
It looked like it was for something that was boiling for a long time. Yes.
I don't think that fucking matters for shit. I get annoyed about stuff and I'm able to control it. I was always told, get them in the next play. You can do a lot of damage to someone within the rules of the game. So just do it within the rules of the game.
And I think the other thing is it was retaliation for something that happened on the play.
Yeah.
Like Ryan says, a cheap shot is a cheap shot.
Yeah.
So if you can full screen it for us,
I can sort of full screen it. We can see the comments there, like some of the comments.
Fuck the comments.
Yeah, fuck them. Actually, I can full screen it because I've got the clip on my. I
was going to say you probably got it on your computer, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh, why is it doing that? Because I downloaded it in high resolution.
In high def.
Yeah, because I wanted it to. How's that? It's trying to put me into like this new software. There we go. Right. Let's pause that. Let's change this share.
Bum, 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 and we're back.
We're back with no chat.
And no, not there. It's still on the side. So Steve, Coach Rains has just mentioned that the hit needs no context. It was outrageous. I agree. So play.
Can we do? Right, no, I
do. We don't need to be there. Put us back.
No, I'm trying to get rid of us.
Nah, we can stay down the bottom. It's fine.
It's annoying, isn't it? I don't want to see us.
That's again fine.
What, should I try another one? No, go on. Right. Let me hit play up here because that's where it is.
Mother of mercy, give me strength. So it's a decent return. Thought he did well. Now there's a big hit right about here,
there,
which is legal.
And then this one.
That is some bullshit.
I want to see what people are saying about it in the chat, but let me just go back. Let's just go back and just. Oh, isn't it letting me do it?
The thing is, right, the hit from the blocker is pretty much right as the whistle goes, and I blame the runner because he didn't have his head on a swivel. Keep your head up.
Yeah, that's the hit. This is the hit here.
Yeah, keep your head up. I know the play's ending because the guy's run out of bounds, but that's bang bang to me. That's bang bang. To me. Keep
I don't mind that. I don't mind that hit.
Keep your head
shoulder, and he's in front. I think it's all right, but whatever.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying for the Newcastle player, keep your head up, right?
Yeah.
Northumberland. Sorry, Newcastle, Northumberland. Northumberland player, that guy, keep your head up. That is a bang bang play. The guy's just out of bounds. That's fine. Old mate who comes sprinting in needs to get in the
here he is here. So he's pointing. He's pointing. Here. Look good to me. Hey, hold on. Let's just see some other comments that people have said. So was it an ejection from Russ? No, it wasn't. There was no. I imagine there'll be. I think there's going to be something after the fact about this because there's like video evidence of it and it is fucking awful.
Yeah,
a lot of people saying it was assault.
Look how far he fucking runs.
I know. Yeah, he hits so this guy, Dave, is the guy that got that just made the block, which I think is okay. But I'm cool with people saying that's not all right or whatever. It looks all right to me. I don't think there was a flag thrown for it. He's about here when he gets smashed in the back.
Just press play. Press play.
I wonder if I can I slow it down? No, I can't. Not on this stupid player.
Not on Windows Media Player, no.
Is it not got like bollocks? So we're watching this guy here who's pointing, right? I don't know if you can see my mouse. Hopefully you can. Takes off. That's where he fucking hit him. He was over here.
We didn't see that because it went black. It went black. You need to give us more of a run up. It didn't buffer or something. It was just black the whole time from when you press play.
Right, let's go again. Right, so there he is on the left.
Standing still, takes off.
Run. Smack.
Now, watching. Don't pause it. Or is that?
Oh, don't pause it. Sorry.
Don't pause it. Keep it running. Look at old mate in the skull cap coming from the Newcastle sideline.
Oh yeah.
Go back, and he's now right in the middle of it. So back 15. It up. Back it up.
Yeah.
Top of the screen. Sprinting across.
Yeah.
What are you doing, mate? What are you up to?
Just up for a punch up, isn't he? This dude gets
just in the ref's
nuts.
face, just chat shit. Let everybody know you're a tough guy.
I'm surprised the commentators aren't going nuts because they're from
Scunthorpe.
Scunthorpe, yeah.
It's just a joke, to be honest, mate. Like,
let me figure this all back out. Oh look, big you, little me.
Hello, mate. Yeah, it is. That's how we look at this. Is actually to scale.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you see me and Steve in person, that's pretty much to scale.
It's basically what we look like. Yeah. Devil's advocate. He could be coming to pull his teammates away. Nah. The whole point is you stay away from it. You don't run over the field as a player. But it's just I think what I said as soon as I saw it was I don't know how that player walked away from the sideline without his legs broken or what, like some sort of fucking injury. Like, what I mean, not the guy that committed the offence.
You're talking about the Northumberland Viking player.
Players and
cleaning the clock of a guy on his own sideline. Yeah.
I would have kicked his kneecaps or something. I would have fucking lost it. That was me.
I love how you're criticizing people from taking on from the sideline, and then you're like, I would have kicked his kneecaps.
No, what I'm saying is that, like, and that's how I've always been. If someone's tried to hurt me purposefully, that's when the only time I've ever got sent off was when a guy back-to-back plays tried to hurt me. He speared me in the back on the second play. On the first play, he tried to like grapple with me, and it didn't go anywhere. I just sort of stood there laughing at him. And I won't. And it's the same in rugby. I remember I kicked someone in the chest because I was a scrum half and I was trying to get away from try and follow the ball, and this player was like pulling me back and holding my arm, and I just turned around and kicked him in the chest. I can't stand people like breaking the rules. If you can't win by following the rules, then don't play the game. Like, just fuck off out of it. And I think that for any game. So that stuff. If people don't follow the rules, it riles me massively.
So Callum's just mentioned that he's seen a hit like that in rugby, and the lad ended up in a wheelchair for 6 months. So that shit needs a ban. Guy could have seen that it was a bang-bang play, hurting his teammates who's gone for them. It wasn't a bang-bang play, though. How high does your leg go to get another man in the chest?
We were on the floor, and I was getting up. So, yeah. He was down here, and I got him right in his chest.
The thing is that the first play was a bang-bang play. The second play fucking wasn't. He sprinted from, it was a good 15 meters that he ran to go clean him out over and like far
after
on
the whistle
sideline.
By the way, like the whistle was blown when he was pointing, and then he took off.
Yeah, toss pot, absolute toss pot.
So anyway, so that was part of that game, but obviously the guy probably doesn't care that much because his team.
No, because he won 28-0, and Northumberland's booked their ticket to the playoffs. You'd think.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look. What's the what division is that?
Yeah, his teammate got drilled legally though, James. Guy's just a prick.
Oh, is this someone defending him?
Oh, James just loves to play devil's advocate. He just argues whatever point he can. They've got Darlington and Yorkshire left for Northumberland. So that's both Scunthorpe games over. They beat them 24-13 in week 1 and now 28-0 in the second half. In the second game. So that's you'd assume
Scunthorpe have got 1 game left. So if Scunthorpe win and Northumberland lose their remaining 3 games, then that's the only way.
I can't see happening because there's no fucking way Darlington beats Northumberland.
Yeah,
there is no way in hell Darlington beats Northumberland.
No. Interestingly, there'll be no relegation for Darlington because the Holton Spartans. Although I think we're headed for a restructure anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a relegation of some form. James likes to see the good in all. Fuck off, you do. You're just an argumentative prick. So Elvis are done now, 8-2 and in. So Elvis have played all 10 games. Steve's like, that's not what my website says. So he's confused.
Ah, shit. Yeah, I am confused. I can only see him as not. I think it's because we haven't got the Houghton. We've got Houghton as playing 9 games, so that may be the other game. So, thanks.
Yeah, so they've got the walkover against Houghton to come.
Yeah, which I need to put in.
22 of the points came in Q1. We pulled our fingers out of the arse. They only scored 6 in the next 3 put. So I'm glad to see Davies out of hospital, able to. Yeah, that's tongue in cheek, mate. But fuck me, you got your bell rung by a cunt.
That's it. He did. Yeah.
He did. It was a cheap shot.
Yeah.
It was a cheap shot.
Yeah.
He got his bell rung by a cunt. Yeah. So when they pulled their finger out of their ass, Northumberland only scored 6 in the next 3 quarters. So next time, don't let them get 22.
Yeah, that's the problem. You didn't score; they scored more.
Yeah.
Stop that. If you can reverse those 2 things, they never went to hospital. Yeah, no,
don't let them score 20. Don't let them score 22, and you should score 22.
Yeah, score more than whatever they score. They'll score maybe a couple. You score more.
Yeah, just score more. I think they'll do. Whoever wins the NFC 2 East will automatically be promoted when they win the playoffs.
Buy a house. You won't be
buy a house. Yeah. Just stop eating avocado toast. Buy a house. Stop letting your opponent score more points than you. Score more than them.
Yeah, it's simple.
Just
play football.
Guys. This is not rocket science. It's just football.
This is the Who's winning Div 1 National, in my opinion? We'll get to that.
You can only do so much on D. Get turnovers. Score points on D. Make up for their mistakes.
Right, let's go. So Darlington 0, the Yorkshire Rams
61. Yeah, so it's a nice bounce. It's sort of a bittersweet victory for the Rams because they would have been look before the season they would have been looking at playoffs. They would have been well and truly looking at playoffs this season as their goal, their aspiration. They didn't get there, obviously, with Northumberland picking the one spot.
Third place, you're not in it. Yeah, they're out.
And then the Alphas bagging the second spot. So they take their frustrations out on the Darlington Steam, the woeful Darlington Steam, 61-0. NFC 1 South.
Of course. The reverse fixture of the previous week or 2 weeks prior, the last playing weekend. Nottingham Caesars 21, Chester Romans 7. I did watch a little bit of the live stream. I was live streaming as well, but they kicked off at midday, so I was watching some of it. Yeah. Lovely angle. That's like the best ever viewing angle you could get. Anyway, aside from that, it was from what I watched, it was an all right game, and Nottingham scored 3 and Chester won, and so that was,
so that's how they beat them. They scored more.
That was how it worked. So if it was soccer, it would be 3-1 that game.
It would have been, but it's not, so it wasn't. But you'd assume Nottingham undefeated.
Footage on Sport Hub.
So you'd assume Nottingham undefeated.
Yeah, so they've clinched. Yeah,
they have. So I don't know between them and Northumberland who gets the 1 seed, who gets the 2 seed, but we
can look at that.
We can, but both would secure buys. Don't hate Nottingham. I actually thought Nottingham was quite a nice town when I was there. It was one of the English towns that I've been to that I didn't think was so terrible. And we had a really good night out in Nottingham a few years ago.
Did. Yeah, that was good fun. Yeah. You smashed
Jordan's phone because he told me that his case was unbreakable.
This case, what did he say?
He said he had an indestructible case on his phone, so I picked his phone up, smashed it on the ground.
I don't know. I didn't come to blows. Anyway.
He also accused me of having retard strength when he tried to pour hot sauce in my lap, and I poured it back in his. And he was like, "What is wrong with you?" Because he was talking about how much he bench press and curls and things like that, and I was like, "I'm just big."
He's a strong boy.
Yeah, he is. And then I just outgripped him and just poured the hot sauce in his own lap, and he was like, "You have retard strength."
We did go to Hooters.
We did. We got the wings.
We were in a hotel across the bridge from it.
Right. So Vikings number 1, Nottingham number 2. Both still get the bye. And this is what I had in my playoff prediction, by the way.
Vikings number 1, they only conceded 19 points. Yeah. There's still 3 games left. Come on.
I had Northumberland 1, Nottingham 2, Highland 3.
Oz is Lenny from of Mice and Men. I wish I understood the cultural reference.
Have you not seen Of Mice and Men? He's a giant spastic. He's a gentle giant, but he's not all there in the head.
Okay. Kwame said something earlier that I wanted to come back to. Really long time.
I never want to come back to anything Kwame says ever.
I do. I want to see what he said.
Man chats so much shit.
Yeah, I know.
So
Tommy,
much shit.
just tell me what your surprise was. Anyway,
yeah. So there we go. Lenny strokes things to death. He pats things and they die because he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand how to grip things at a proper.
Like my sons, like they're just like that cat. I'm going to pet it, like I'm going to drag it along the floor, and it will be fine. Well, my oldest son's all right now.
Does that make Steve George? And if so, will the ending happen on stream?
I see another.
I don't want to spoil.
Don't give the ending away.
No, I don't want to spoil it. No spoilers. No spoilers. No of Mice and Men spoilers, guys. Steve hasn't seen it. Hasn't read it. Hasn't seen it. Right. SFC 1 Central. Olympians 18. Hornets 6.
Oh, who did you pick?
I picked the Hornets.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in that head of yours. That was a clear Olympians win.
Mate, you picked the Blitz. You can fuck off.
The Blitz B, because they won 60-0. What are you talking about?
I picked the Blitz B as well. We both did.
No, I'm saying.
Oh, we didn't pick the Olympians Hornets game.
Yeah, we did.
It's not in the rundown.
But Hatch asked me, who would you pick? And I said Hornets, and I said I'll pick the Olympians.
I would have picked the Hornets. That's true.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Because I said on stream that I thought they were going to beat them.
Came out in 1937. I don't think it does count as a spoiler. Of course, it's a fucking spoiler. If I don't know the ending of it and you tell me,
you're still going to spoil it for me.
Oh yeah, but what about the year? Well, what about the year it came out? Like fucking what?
You're still going to spoil it for him, James.
Sorry, this is no spoiler. That 20 years is part. What is it? 20 years? 40 years? After that, there's no.
There has to be honest, mate. There has to be a statute of limitations on pop culture. Like
why?
Because there is a certain amount of time that you should have seen it, or if you haven't seen it in that certain amount of time.
That's quite known for a plot twist at the end. Can anyone? Is it just now general knowledge? What happens at the end of the Sixth Sense?
Oh yeah, for sure. They what is it? They die because they can't deal with like the air or the water or some shit like that. Oh no, sorry, I was thinking of Signs. I was thinking, Sixth Sense, he's dead. Yeah, 100%. There's no spoilers.
Oh, you can't do that to people. Anyway,
what do you mean?
You can't do spoilers unless you spoiler alert, and we didn't.
No. See, the thing is, there has to be a statute of limitations. Like the Sixth Sense came out like the 90s. You should have seen it by now.
No.
Yes.
No. There's a duration limit on spoilers. Book at 8 years old.
The book's 80 years old and taught in schools for 40 years, and that gets spoiled for you. That's on you.
I didn't pay much attention in school. I wasn't cut out for it.
You picked the Olympians. I picked the Hornets.
The fifth game for the. Oh my god!
Is that a mixture of The Fifth Element and
Fifth Element? Yeah, and Sixth Sense. Yeah,
we're just merging Bruce Willis films together now. Yeah. Just like he merges his work because of
can someone spoil the Fifth Element then? Can that be spoiled? That's old.
Has it got a twist?
Huh?
Has it got a twist?
No, it's just got an end. You can spoil the ending.
I can't even remember the ending.
No. Lelu Dallas multipass.
Excuse. Oh yes, yeah. That's what she says. Yeah.
Come on.
Old Mila Jovovich.
Yeah.
Moving on, the Blitz B kicked the shit out of the Essex Spartans. Unfortunate for the Spartans. They did, man. They really did.
It's harsh the way to put it, but yeah,
it is. It's been an absolute write-off season for the Spartans. Good on them for.
They turned up with 22 players. The Spartans apparently, from what I've seen, comments I've seen.
Off-season can't come quick enough for them.
Thought this was about. Wow, you've learned something then, Calvin, haven't you? Because we talk shit about anything,
everything. SFC 1 West, Bournemouth Bobcats 23, Bristol Apache 13. God, you've missed so much, Mike. Sam Chance, Bobcats with Sam Chance.
Well, yeah, really good game. At one point, it could have gone sort of either way.
No, it couldn't. Sam plays for the Bobcats.
There was some I said it on stream because we live streamed it. So go and watch it if you haven't. It was a really, really good game. Lots of stuff happening all essentially for the entire duration of the game. Sam Chance is awesome. No spoiler, but the Bobcats won.
The Bobcats won.
But yeah, go and watch it. It was good. But yeah, the Bobcats just pulled ahead. Essentially, what I think the thing that is probably the best way of describing it is the D line, or the D line, or the front seven, as Mike like to call it. You know, blitzing linebackers, etc. Just dominated after the first couple of drives. Like once they'd sort of learned what they needed to learn, and they maybe made some adjustments, the Bobcats D line just tore the Apache apart and just stopped everything, and it was amazing. And the interception return
was one of the longest plays in Brit Ball history.
Yeah, it was like an 80. I thought it was like 90 plus, but apparently it's about an 80-yard pick six from the outside linebacker of the Bobcats, and we've clipped it on YouTube, but I'm probably going to post it as well. It was awesome. My camera works terrible because it's on the far left, and I pan along with it, but I don't like. I pan straight, and when the camera's straight, it's like getting just the top of their heads. I don't like drop it down. Yeah, and I'm just getting all excited about it. But yeah, it was brilliant. It's so good. It was. We thought it was a lineman, but it was a larger linebacker. Is the easy way of saying it. And he was trying to give the ball away around the 30-yard line. He like sort of holds it out. He's got players around him, but the players around him are faster than him, and they're sort of running ahead of him and just basically making this like shield. A couple of players try to come and tackle, but it was like a beautiful effort from the defense to get that ball over the line. The ball carrier, I think his name's Charles or Charlie, the guy that made the pick. He was ready to hand it off. And they kept with him, and he stumbles into the end zone. But it was brilliant. It was such a good moment in the game. And it looks like they're playing on a ski slope. Yeah, that side of the pitch that I was on was higher, but also, you know, when you're panning from like 60 yards away, you know, the adjustment will need to. It won't be the same as directly in front of you as it was 60 yards that way. So yeah, I was just panning it like left to right, and then I realized I had to look at the viewfinder, and I saw, oh shit, I've just got the tops of their heads in there. But,
the big thing now
Charles Taylor, number 46. That was him.
The big thing now, that division, right? That win there for the Bobcats puts them at 5-4 with just the Saints left to go, right? So realistically, finish at a 6-4. You'd think, right? Finish at 6-4.
Yeah.
Second place in that division currently sits with Rushmore at 6-2. Rushmore,
top three go through.
Is it top three go through?
Yeah, for the South Division 1 conferences, top three go through.
Okay, well it's kind of irrelevant then, but Bournemouth can still clinch second because Rushmore play Hertfordshire twice as their last two games.
I know, awesome, isn't it? They've done that on purpose, right? Based on what happened in the playoffs last year.
So
purposeful.
Based on what?
We're live streaming one of the games.
Based on historical performances, you'd say Hertfordshire finished 10-0, Rushmore finished 6-4, Bournemouth finished 6-4. Bournemouth has beaten Rushmore twice this season. So via head-to-head, they claim second, and Rushmore dropped to third.
So yeah, if Rushmore draw or win any of their remaining games,
they get second.
They get second. Yeah, that's how it looks.
Yeah, for sure. So Bournemouth just need to take care of business against Oxford, which you'd assume they will. And Rushmore are playing for their life against Hertfordshire
twice.
Yeah. Wow, they only need to win one. They only need to win one.
They're guaranteed player football.
You say, You say twice, but yes, but they're guaranteed player football. But finishing second is a big difference for who you play as it is in third.
Yeah, of course.
Because third, I'm pretty sure you end up
playing for their life. That they have secured postseason football.
No, they're still playing for their lives.
As have Bournemouth. It's just where it all ends up.
Because they changed where they were playing.
It was to saddle up nicely to Rushmore Council, which is the local council there. And Rushmore Council had some council recreational space that they'd promised to them, and they haven't actually given it to them. So they're still at a school in Cove.
Is the stream who's home ground? Who are you streaming at? Rushmore or Hertfordshire?
Hertfordshire. So it's the game in 2 weeks.
Cool.
Right. Yeah, we are.
Moving into Div 2. We also both picked the Wildcats to win that one. Moving into Div 2. So NFC 2 East. Humber 27, Gateshead 6. Just,
what we think. Yeah. Gateshead have been a real disappointment for me this season. I think I would say they've underperformed.
I would agree.
According to their expectations, I've been a bit gutted.
And I think Humber's been great.
Wow. Yeah.
Humber have been exceptional this season. Yeah. They've comfortably handled everybody that's been put in front of them.
Yeah. You've got a DC President story, haven't you?
Oh, just a brief one. Doncaster Mustangs 20, DC Presidents 2. Can we start a GoFundMe to get some new uniforms for the DC Presidents? Because fuck me, they are ugly.
What's the problem with them? I don't even know what they look like.
They're just as bad as they play on the field. So I was coming back from Sheffield this weekend with the missus. We were away seeing her family. Stopped off in services near Wetherby, which is in the north. It's like North Yorkshire, south sort of Durham sort of way. And I walked past the DC Presidents player. Didn't really realize at the time, just saw a footballer out the corner of my eye, and I turned around and I was like, fuck me, what's that blue shocking uniform? And I looked and I was like, oh, it's the DC Presidents. And I went, you know what? I'm not surprised.
I'm not going to say hello to him.
Oh, God, no. God, no. Yeah, it's just horrendous. It's just a horrendous kit.
Back to that question of who's going to... We should start a little book on it. Who's going to fold next? I think the Presidents are in the firing line. Although I think more mid next season, I think they're going to survive.
Yeah, no, I think they'll survive as well. So they moved grounds recently this season, like mid-season. They moved from... They're no longer in DC. They're no longer in Washington.
Where are they?
They're in a place called Peterlee. So they're now training at Peterlee Rugby Club. They're still in Durham County. So they're still DC
then.
Yeah, they're still DC, but they're not in Washington anymore. They're not Washington DC.
Yeah.
So
they weren't. They used to be years ago.
So I think they will survive this season. I think they'll play. They've only got one game left to play, maybe.
So I just seen this comment from Ollie. He was the white cap, and he said it gave him enough time to catch up. Oh, class!
Always good when we get our refs just letting us know that sometimes it's just a little too much for them. Not in Washington because they're washed.
I don't know why you even read that. I just ignored it. I was like,
I need to go back to just ignoring any pun. He's just he literally Kwame is throw enough shit and they'll read something.
Trumps. That'd be funny.
Anyway, the DC Capitol rioters.
Have you anything to say about the result though? 20 Doncaster Mustangs 20, DC Presidents 2.
Go on, Donny.
I mean, DC President's good punter. That's what we think when we see 2 points.
I picked the Presidents in this. Apparently, what am I doing? You picked Donny. I picked the Presidents. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I know. It's been weeks and you've not known what you're doing. It's good fun. The same with the next one, by the way.
Oh, I picked Lee. Yeah.
Although you're fair enough for picking Lee because the Surge had never beat the Miners. I didn't know that until I saw LL Cool P's post on a Saturday night. But
it's just
and I'm fairly sure that the Lee Miners went 7-0 up. I think they scored first. So
I'm disappointed.
I feel like I've got lucky with that one. It was like a happy accident for me. I think based on the results, based on history, I probably would have gone with the Lee Miners.
I'm disappointed in you, Lee. I needed something from you.
Oh, he said the other way round. Someone's going to correct me here.
Miners never beat the Surge. 1 draw, 5 losses.
Okay, yeah. So
wish someone had told me that last week.
Yeah.
Lee were up 7-0 at the end of quarter 3. Just thought you'd let 16 points in to screw me. Thanks, guys.
It's all good though. I mean, Lee Miners have worked their way into everyone's call book. I think like everyone's like, yeah, good for you. Like I don't think like no one's getting on at them for losing games like this to teams like this after being around only a few years. Like Lee Miners are a team that I believe will continue to get better and succeed. Now, the day that they get to a final, I'll be there with a Lee Miners t-shirt on, cheering them on. Definitely, man. Like I've got a lot of
Ryan, clip that. Ryan, clip that.
Right? No, I'll be. Yeah, you don't need to clip it. Unless Baffa don't let me in, I don't know.
Got your photo on the gate.
yeah, fucking pricks. Gaithan favourable field position twice at the end was tough to take. Thought we got them this time. He's pretty on it.
So SFC 2 East into Div 2 South. East Kent Mavericks
called early. East Kent Mavericks 24, Sussex Thunder 6. Game called early because of quite a severe leg injury to a Sussex Thunder player.
Nick's going to sort you out with a t-shirt to wear for the game.
That's all. No, you don't need to get. I'll pay for it. I'm not like Oz.
Wow, Steve makes a lot of money.
He'll take all the freebies. I don't need freebies. I want to grow the game, right? I want to help grow the sport. That includes money into.
I don't. Club. I'm foreign. I couldn't give a shit what happens.
Yeah, Oz doesn't care. Oz is just here for enough.
I'm here for your benefits. I'm here for your NHS. Like I want your NHS. I want your unemployment benefits. I want your team merch. I want it all. You know.
But yeah, so I don't know at what point in the game, but that looks like that's going to be the final result. It was agreed, and because it was before the third quarter, or before the end of the third quarter, so it's always dubious, isn't it? But yeah, I saw a couple of posts and people saying, get well. I think East Kent Mavericks even posted an image and an official post from their site, a post from their official page, wishing him well. So it wasn't the
third quarter.
Yeah, all our best to the player. But that result isn't a 4-quarter result. It's a 2 and a bit, 2.5 maybe. Next one. East Essex Sabres 0 at home. Colchester Gladiators 38. So let's just
Lee final. Oz will dye his beard Lee Miners color. No, I won't. No, I won't.
He's trying to get us to sign up to stuff. So NFC 2 East, by the way, because that's the two. Because there's only basically the top 3 teams go through. I didn't say this. So at the moment, so as it stands now, Humber Warhawks, Gateshead, and the Wakefield District Raiders will be playoff bound.
Yeah, I know.
I don't agree with that. And then, but also,
is it 3 teams in both Div 1 and Div 2?
So 3 teams in Div 1 South and 3 teams in Div 1 North, because they've both got 2 conferences.
Yeah.
In the reverse, there's 3 conferences and the top 2 teams go through.
Yeah, cool.
I tried to put it on that graphic.
So currently it's going to be Wakefield District Raiders, Gateshead Senators, and Humber Warhawks.
And it also will be the Revolution, the Surge, and the Miners.
Miners are playing playoff football.
Well, the Bombers have got. Oh, is it 8? Oh, they only play 8 games in Div 2, don't they?
They only play 8 games because there's minimal teams.
Okay, so they've got 2 games to go, and they could equal the Miners' record because the Miners have played all their games at 4-4.
And who's the head-to-head?
Lincolnshire Bombers.
Oof.
Let's have a little look. Well, I will have a little look.
So who have the Bombers got left? The Bombers have got
the head-to-head.
The Surge. They got the Surge and the Revs.
Oh, they're not going to win those. I think the Lee Miners won 30-10 in week 1 in that fixture, and they won 30-7. So it looks like the Miners are very likely to go through, barring 2 wins. Is it 2 wins? Yeah, 2 wins from the Bombers, which is I can't see. Given the opponents, I can't see that they're going to do that. They're playing the top 2.
Yeah, and then we've got Colchester with a big win over the Sabres. Yeah, huge win there.
Sabres at home as well. I don't know. Maybe they've had, because I know a lot of teams obviously have had players. Like you think about teams with losing records, they would have lost players at the transfer.
We got told earlier on in the season that the Sabres are having a real rough time because I wanted to know what had gone on. Purely because the Sabres were great last year.
But so Colchester now moving to second place with 2 games to go. But also with 2 games to go, you've got Ipswich, who are on 3 and 3.
Yeah, but I don't like Ipswich. I like.
That means Ipswich. If they win 2, they'd be 5 and 3.
3. Yeah.
If Colchester win 1, they'd be 5, 1 and 2, and they would get through.
Yes, because they only lost 1. Yeah.
So Colchester just need to win 1 of their remaining games. Let's see what their games are to be mathematically.
I think they've got one against Ipswich, don't they?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
They do. They've got East Kent. They've got East Kent and Ipswich.
So that could be the decider.
Well, the Mavericks are looking good. That's the thing.
It can't. It can't be the decider because if Ipswich
bottled their first game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it would be the decider. Yeah,
because they'd have more. So Ipswich have got Ipswich have got the Thunder coming up. So if Ipswich beat the Thunder, then we could be looking at week 18 Ipswich Colchester for playoff rights. Because
it would be So because that would be the win that pushed Ipswich over into second place.
Because I don't know if Colchester can beat East Kent.
No, I don't think they can. Be amazing if they do.
Well, last time they played, it was a 0-0 draw. Nil.
The last game was obviously Torbay.
Yeah. The last game just wasn't. The last game just wasn't.
Yeah,
Somerset offered a walkover. Cunts. Not Somerset.
How much time? We've got 25 minutes. I wanted to, so the other thing I wanted to talk about, this was sent to me, was so we've got a GB game coming up, right?
Spirit of the game.
And let me get it on screen for me, so I don't misquote or anything. But apparently it's 10 quid to get in to watch the game, a ticket. And they do have, let me find it, because they do have concessions.
Right.
One of the concessions is for essentially GB players that didn't make it. And they get £2 off to come and watch. I don't understand it. But yeah, where was it? And I mean, I also feel so. Yeah, so it's adult ticket is £10, under 16 is £2, but they need to be accompanied by an adult, and then concessions are £8, and it says underneath that 2023 BAFA GB squad member is considered a concession. No one else, not like disabled or elderly or whatever. Just we'll give you £2 off if you weren't successful in making the team. No concessions for if you're a member. Yeah, there we go. It should be free if you're a paid BAFA member. I agree. This is paid. We've already paid for it, haven't we? Surely, because it's not a sponsored event. Like it's not a sponsorship that's running the GB team. It's us, and it's the only concession. Coach Range just like, tell me your initial thoughts, Oz. Looks like you're digging your fingers deeply into your eyes there.
Yeah, I don't know if you listen to Slipknot at all, but one of the lyrics that they have.
I've been meaning to show this.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see it. This is in Prague. I was in Prague this week. Oh, you prick! The license plate says Slipknot.
Oh, does it?
I'll have to send you it. Yeah, can you see that? Yeah.
Oh yeah. So one of their songs, one of their songs called Duality. Corey Taylor, the lead singer, says, "I push my fingers into my eyes It's the only thing that slowly stops the ache. And that's kind of how I felt with listening to you fucking ramble on about like just the shit show that is.
I just wanted to paint the picture. That's all I'm here for.
Like the shit show that is the national program and our national governing body.
I hope they live stream it, but I'm starting to think that with this pricing scheme, they'll end up charging.
Who are they playing?
For the live stream. Huh?
Who are they playing?
France or some other country.
Well, I gathered that.
I don't know, mate. I don't follow them because I don't get like we're media blacked out from them. They don't send us any information, so we don't cover them because we'd always just be a day or so late. They're fucking assholes. Again, Baffa just being pricks to us, making things as hard as possible and not trying to grow the game. But let me have a look.
Because I'm really torn about this.
Why?
Because I want them to get absolutely fucking pantsed.
Oh, GB? Like, no, I always want to.
No. And this is my
non-negotiable for me.
No, and this is my point, right? Because I don't want that for the players.
I don't want that for the.
I want it for the embarrassment for the coaching staff and the national governing body.
No, that's spiteful. No, I don't.
Well, agree. But mate, I'm not British. France, I don't have national pride. I don't have your national pride.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So I kind of just want it to be a giant embarrassment. But I don't for the players because I don't want guys who are busting their nuts to try and make this national team and literally this is quite possible.
We get £2 off.
No, but I'm talking about the guys that have made the team, and this could be their first game that they've made it. It could be their fucking 20th game, 30th game, whatever. I do not want to wish ill on the players in any way, shape, or form. But I'm just so over the national board and the national governing body that I would love an embarrassment for the national body. How do I get that? How do I get that without having embarrassment for the players?
You don't. This is.
Well, okay, no. I got it. They win, but nobody goes.
That's what you want is low attendance at the game.
I want no attendance. I don't want low attendance. I want no attendance. I want the players to ball the fuck out and nobody sees it.
Right. But the live stream would I hope they've got a live stream.
And I want the live stream to shit the bed.
Yeah. Well, I've got a feeling that they might try and charge for the live stream and I think that's a fucking joke if they do, but we'll see. They are very ill advised or just very I don't have any ill will towards anybody who's qualified for GB or is playing for GB. Like I wish you the absolute best. Like
congratulations. Congratulations to the guys.
This game is a competitive game. It's not friendly against France. This is European Championships Pool B qualifier. So this is a big game.
So they have to win. I want them to win.
Yeah, I want them to. But, yeah, like I said, I'm massive. I wish we did more coverage. I wish we could do more coverage of what they're doing because I love it. I think the program's good. I think, I get really hyped for GB football.
I want the stream. I want the stream to shit the bed, and I want the food to be overpriced and nobody buys it. And I want everybody to complain on Facebook about how poorly run the event was. And the only thing that saving grace was the fact that GB played really well on the pitch. That's what I want. I want it from an organizational point of view to be a fucking shit show, but I want the football to be amazing.
Well, it is. But yeah, cool. Right, so that was the other bit I wanted to talk about. Just raise like I just don't know how they. I mean that pricing doesn't make sense to me.
What about the thing that you sent me?
I don't think I've ever paid, even when they have had, when you even had to pay to get in. I just sort of always just walked into any of the Britball games or GB games or anything. Sorry, what were you saying?
Do you want to touch on what you sent me on Discord?
I don't know. It was dropped on. You might have had a better chance to look at it than I have. I don't know the background of it. Probably not. So I would say probably not the best thing to talk about when we don't have full context.
Yeah, I was going to say looking at it, it just looks like somebody bitter.
Yeah, it's a coach posting stuff, I think. But we shouldn't
from his own personal page.
Yeah, that's why. Just sort of no point. Right, let's look at. Should we do the predictions?
Predict some games, yeah.
Hopefully,
and then get out of here. Pay the bills.
Yeah.
This is where our ads run. The Sportech ads.
Yeah. Maybe one day we'll have ads. Not yet. Not now.
The dream. The absolute
well,
dream.
As long as the ads mean that we got loads of money.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Like, watch our ads and pay us. Prem North. Manchester versus Leicester. You had a lot to say about Leicester earlier on. What have you got to say about them now?
They're losing this game. Come on.
So I'll put you up for the Panthers, yeah?
Yeah, please, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Two for the Panthers, please.
2 for the Panthers. Brutal. East Kilbride, Merseyside.
A loss to Merseyside sends them down.
Yes.
I'm going East Kilbride.
I'm taking the Pirates as well. I don't see.
I'm amazed that the Merseyside Nighthawks are going down. They've been
a bit of a mainstay since 2015, 2014, 2015.
Yeah, it's a while. So yeah,
it's rough. Solent versus Kent.
I think the first two fixtures of the Prem are pretty straightforward. So Solent, obviously,
and London.
Go for that.
Yeah, Thrashers and the Warriors.
London Warriors over the Cambridgeshire Cats.
You think so?
The comments are frozen on the screen. Let me just.
Oh, they are. That's a bit sad. I did wonder that no one was saying anything at all to me having a go about the.
10 minutes ago, yeah.
Yeah. Is anybody still here?
Yeah, they're still there. There's still people watching. It's just the comments. There's like a. Let me try and see if I can close it and.
Can you just bin it off? Hello. Is there any way to like?
I'm going to share my screen again because last time I shared my screen, it refreshed the. Refreshed the chat.
All right.
So this is the best website for American football in the UK.
And the chat has not refreshed.
Hold on. I haven't put it back up yet.
It's well, I mean, they're frozen
on I've at least cleared it.
Type your comments, but I mean, it's frozen on the right.
People are going nuts. I bet people are going nuts. Back then, what are they saying? Yeah, sorry about the. We can get them from. Let's go side by side. We can get them from. Oh look, it still works with the heading. We can get them from the chat if we want. I can't be asked.
How do we get them? Oh, right. Okay.
Go on to Facebook and.
Okay. Let me see if I can do that.
Working. It looks like I got it working on YouTube, but not on Facebook. That's what it looks like. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, it's just. I don't know. It's just people. There's some comments, but I can't tell what's new and what's not. So it's just,
you can filter it to newest,
yeah,
and then it will put the newest on top.
Mate, I couldn't even figure out how to fucking change which profile I was. So don't you dare.
Let's get through the. Let's not let this distraction.
Right. Okay. Let's move. Moving on. People make it.
This is the one I'm interested in hearing from you. The Aztecs versus the Blitz. Who do you go for? We are live streaming this game, by the way. So if you can't get down to watch it live at the fantastic stadium or grounds.
Who do you think I'm going for?
Because
I know I've already put your pick in. I've already put your pick in for the Aztecs.
You seem to have been a bit soft about the Aztecs earlier. Like, maybe they are doing some good stuff, and I don't like that. I feel like you're buckling a bit, and I'm trying to tease you into going for the Blitz.
Right. But I don't like the Blitz.
Micah likes the Blitz.
Yeah, Micah does like the Blitz. I was shocked when the Blitz beat the Aztecs the first time around, I think. I
don't know.
I don't know. Let's see if I can track it all the way back.
What, to the last time they played?
Oh no, I picked the Blitz last time they played. No, I think the Aztecs are hitting their stride, and I think that the Blitz are in free fall. That loss to the Warriors, I think, is going to create some issues.
I'm disappointed, but okay.
Ah, fuck it, I'll pick the Blitz. Maybe the Blitz bounce back.
Okay,
I bet you the Aztecs are going to look at them and be like, "That's it. You're not turning over a new leaf, Oz. Fuck you. We're going to win this one too."
Yeah. NFC 1 Scottish, Inverclyde Goliath versus the Highlands.
Stags. Oh, Stags.
Yeah. Rams, Wolverines. I go Rams for that.
Rams.
I think Wolverines have just lost it this year,
They're
which is a shame.
Yeah.
Well, they're not, because the Spartans will prevent a relegation, but they may get restructured into a lower division next year.
Yeah.
They take a voluntary loss. Redundancy. Redundancy?
Voluntary redundancy.
It's the same thing.
Is Pepper going to put them on gardening leave?
Yeah. I'm going to put Pete on gardening leave. Right.
Okay,
NFC 1 South, the Sheffield Giants and the Chester Romans.
So Russell has just said, Russ just mentioned that Oz is indecisive, but now he's not too sure. I just saw that comment out the corner of my eye.
I can't see any of them.
Yeah, Sheffield Giants, Chester Romans. It's got to be Chester. It's got to be the Romans.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I like what the Giants have started to perform well more recently. So they're but yeah, I think I will go Romans.
So there's a pub in Sheffield that I want to know if the Giants are affiliated with or not. Because it looks like it's the fucking perfect pub for them to be affiliated with, because it's like an American sports pub in Sheffield. And
why would they? Yeah, but that doesn't just because it doesn't necessarily mean. Is it? Oh, I suppose where it's American, yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, so it's like an American style sports bar where it's got like the big TV, like it's got the bar in the middle and the TVs all around the outside. It's got the booths with all the TVs and the booths and everything. And I was looking at it. I was there on the weekend, and I was sitting there thinking, I was like, God, I hope the Giants have tapped these guys up to see about sponsorship or partnership or something, because it would make
some sort of shit.
Was that? Yeah, some sort of shit. Even if it's like a fucking cruise ship or I hate you sometimes.
Membership.
Yeah. But it's and I can't remember what it's fucking called. I've just had to Google the street, the road that it's on, because it's on. I think it's on Eccles Hall Road in Sheffield. Not that probably means shit to anybody, but it's a new sort of place.
That's where they live.
True. Here we go. It's called the Wildcard Bar and Grill in Sheffield, and I'm really curious if anybody from
you found yourself in there recently. Is that what you're saying?
The weekend I was there. Yeah, it was great.
Oh, you're in Sheffield this weekend? Just gone?
Yes, this weekend just gone.
I didn't know that.
And I just feel like it's a missed opportunity for the Giants if they haven't tried at least to start some sort of partnership.
Well, if I remember rightly, when during the warm up of the game that we live streamed with them in, they had T-shirts on that had loads of sponsors all over it, tons.
Oh, perfect.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they haven't tapped on it, because they seem to have quite comprehensive sponsorship coverage.
Perfect. Well, then I'm just talking shit that doesn't matter. Northants Knights, Samwell Steelers.
Oh.
Northants. Yeah, I wanted to hear you say it.
Yeah.
Are you picking the Giants, by the way?
No, I'm not. I said I'll pick the Romans, but I just think the Giants have had a bit of a turn in form lately, and for me that was sort of food for thought. But not enough. I don't think it's not enough. I think the Romans will take over.
Right. Fair enough. And then the
Caesars.
Birmingham Bulls, Nottingham Caesars.
Yeah, Caesars.
Yeah. Of course.
The United States of the Norwich Devils. I'm going for them.
Yeah, Matt, I love the Devils. Love the Devils against the.
I think they've had that. I think they've had that US injection, and I think they're gonna just pan everyone.
You reckon? They've got a benefit from the 3 teams making playoffs because I still think they could win the division. But, I think the O's are still sitting pretty, and I think it's going to be tough.
The benefit no, I don't think there's 3 teams making playoffs in that division. Is there?
There should be because there's only 2 Div 1 in the South.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. The West and the Central. Yeah, they're Central.
Yes.
So the top 3. Yeah. So
yeah. Because they started slow. They started slow. So the fact that there's 3,
they started non-American. They ended American. I mean, come on.
Hertfordshire Cheetahs versus.
I don't dislike them, by the way, but like they've done, like it looks like they've done the old Bury Saints or Ipswich Cardinals or whoever else has done that in the history of the sport, because they had some bad results at the beginning of the season, and like I said, that result against the O's it is not explained by we just pulled our boots up. Pulled up,
pulled our socks up,
tied our shoes extra tight. You know, like it reeks of
not buying it.
A talent injection, which is cool, but I think anyone that faces the Norwich Devils the rest of the season gets pasted, including the playoffs.
So do I, because I think the Devils are great, and I don't.
So if I'm saying that for the playoffs, that means that they would get promoted to the Prem.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying. Then,
what? So you think they're going to be?
That did come up in the chat. Who do we think is getting promoted? I'm going Norwich Devils.
The team that you're putting over them, the team you're putting them over is Hertfordshire.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't know if I'm too quick to do that because I think Hertfordshire.
I don't care.
I think Hertfordshire would paste anybody in that division except for maybe Norwich. Like I think you put them up against the Olympians, they're running over the Olympians.
No, I think the
Olympians are not a good team. Can we stop with this?
No,
they're just a bang average Div 1 outfit. They're not amazing.
No. Anyway.
They're literally, I'm not good enough to play for the Blitzer Warriors. That's all the Olympians are.
That's still pretty good level.
No, it's offcuts.
You could say that about any of the London-based teams, though, couldn't you?
I say it about all of them.
You're offcuts, all of you.
Right, Hertfordshire Cheetahs, South Wales Warriors. The cat. We have a cat sighting.
Yeah. I see it.
There you go, Kwame.
Kwame Cheetahs, obviously. I think that's a fairly straightforward one.
Kwame was after a cat sighting, so there we go.
Yeah, a couple of people asked about your cat, haven't they?
Hey,
so Cheetahs versus Wales. Cheetahs versus Wales. They're not called the Wales. Cheetahs versus Warriors. I always do that, don't I? I say the nickname for one team and then the location for the other. But in this instance, the location is also an animal, which makes it even funnier. Anyway, Hertfordshire to beat South Wales is my prediction.
Moving into Div 2 then, Wakefield versus Donny.
Raiders. They're third.
Yeah.
Look, I've managed to win you round.
Well, no, you haven't. It's Donny.
You would not have called that game week 1. You would not have called.
I would have against Donny.
Fuck you.
Hashtag pray for Donny. Like they were woeful last year. They were getting the shit slapped out of them last year.
Nah, you're lying,
mate. I picked the fucking DC Presidents to beat Donny. Like they lost, but
trying to look for last year's. That doesn't matter. Right. Anyway, let's keep going.
Mate, Donny were bad. Right. Shropshire Revolution Crew Railroaders. Really?
Yeah.
Revs.
Are we going to get a game where we're going against each other here? Like,
we're at the end of the season where, we've had Blitz
Aztecs. It's the only one.
But you didn't really want to go against it. But yeah.
Cardinals Thunder. Cardinals.
And then the big one in SFC.
I'm taking Portsmouth. I'm not letting you fucking have it this time. I'm taking Portsmouth. Oh, okay. Well, then it's not.
Somerset are like vengeful. Like they were like, yeah, you wait and see. Like we'll get you the next one. Like this is going to be a good one. This is going to be a decent game.
I was hoping there might be some sort of like, you know, contention where you're like, oh, wow, I think Somerset could bounce back, but I'm from Pompey, so I love Pompey, and I've always got to back him. But then just no, there was none of that, and you were just like, I'm taking Portsmouth.
I like Somerset. I've lived in Somerset and I've lived in Portsmouth. My little sister was born in Somerset.
I didn't even know you had a little sister.
Yeah, her name's Liana. She's a lesbian.
I didn't know that the last part, like, is that all of her personality that we need to know?
20 years. That's how it works.
Is that the only relevant piece of information that we know about Liana?
Yeah, that's about it. She's got a son, even though she's a lesbian, which is quite interesting.
That's very interesting.
So he's my nephew. His name's Luca. He's cool. I like Luca.
His mum, not so much.
I have to tolerate his mum to see him. No, my sister's cool. I've got an older. You know, I've got an older brother as well.
Yes.
Cool.
Is his name Chris?
Andy.
So it's not Chris.
No, Chris is the name that people normally give me. Like people, yeah. The people don't know my name. Like I've been mistaken for Chris a number of times, or people thought my name Chris a number of times. So, just to let you know, it's followed me around for years. I don't understand.
Did I meet your brother at your birthday?
What birthday?
The one you had about 10 years ago down in Pompey. Me and Murat came out with your mate Calvin, a few other mates. We ended up getting a VIP booth at Tiger.
Oh yeah, so Calvin's brother did run Tiger.
Yeah. 20. I think it would have been 2016. Your birthday in 2016. I think it was like your 30th or 35th or something.
Probably, yeah. 16. That would have been my 34th.
Oh, might have been 17 then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because for your 35th,
Calvin's got a pub, a bar in Portsmouth called Rapscallions, and he's just about to open another one called Ripper and Co, themed after Jack the Ripper, and it's made national news because people have been saying, "Oh, you're so insensitive. People died, and you're making money."
Mate, you're gonna do it in Yorkshire as well. If you're gonna do a Ripper and Co pub, do it in Yorkshire.
Ripper, yeah. But so it's been in like the Guardian and the Telegraph and everything. And so it's like the best PR he could possibly want, but it's still stressing him out. But,
Is he doing it after Jack the Ripper or the Yorkshire?
Yeah, Jack is called Ripper and Co. So it's just like murder monster things. Like they got like Freddy Krueger in some bit of it. Like you know, he's a fantasy character. But they went with Ripper, and that's what annoyed everyone. But it's called Ripper and Co. So yeah, if you're ever down in Portsmouth, guys, go to Ripper and Co. and stick your fingers up at those people, give them my mate some stick.
Tell Calvin Steve's this fuck off. Because it's something that you would do.
It'd be fine with it.
He'd be like, oh, I hate that guy.
Right, we've gone over. We still, even with 20 minutes left and only the score, the games to run down, we still got.
Yeah, but the comments thing took up about 5
minutes. The comments thing did fuck us up, but
yeah.
Anyway, they're probably still really. I'll read the comments probably later this week.
I'm glad you will, because I won't.
Yeah, well, you're reading them live.
Well, no, I can't. They're frozen on my computer as well. So, last comment I got was 10 minutes. Apparently, Tom's popped up that we're descending into standard 3-hour tangents, talking about Ripper and Co.
Yeah. Hey, I just brought my mate's bar.
Yeah, go to it. If you're in Pompey, I know there's Dreadnought players who watch.
Mate,
there's Dreadnought. Yeah,
Calvin's good, didn't he?
Calvin's a baller.
He's quality. Well, yeah, I remember that.
There's Dreadnoughts players and Dreadnoughts like committee members and stuff that watch the stream. So go to Ripper and Co.
Whiskey and shit for the we had like literal bottles of spirits.
Mate, he spent about a
grand.
grand.
Like fucking
yes,
flares and stuff as well.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they kept bringing shit out with like fireworks in the bottle, and we were just. And then there was like the VIP booth behind us that people kept shouting that they needed to fight or something like that. I can't remember. There was. It was just stupid, very, very stupid.
Anyway, did you come?
Oh fuck!
What have you done?
I thought I picked up 2 pens, and turns out one of them was actually a fucking craft knife.
Let me see. No, I want to see the blood.
Oh no, it's just it went through the skin and managed to fucking leave the blood. It's minuscule.
Whatever. What an anticlimax!
Yeah, honestly, it's like the tiniest little fucking.
But you do what I always accuse my missus of, which is like overreacting to a bit of pain or something happens.
Well, it was more the shock.
If our kid looks like he's gonna fall back off of a sofa, he like screams and runs over, and you're like,
mate, no, it wasn't even pain. It was more just shock. It was more like like there wasn't any pain at all when it happened. It was more just fucking like I didn't enjoy that sensation.
I just think you overreacted there. I think you've really milked it,
mate. I think that's pretty much my entire persona when it comes to this fucking show.
Yeah. Well, we got anything else to say?
Nah, I think we're good, mate. I think let's wrap it up and get out of here.
Cool.
I'm Oz. That's Steve. We're the rundown.